Welcome, sinners, to the Cinamen podcast. I'm Chris.
I'm Nick.
And I'm Tyler. And today we talk about the Ninja Turtles.
Go Ninja, go Ninja, go. Yo, it's the Green Machine. Gonna rock the town without being seen. Have you ever seen a turtle get down? Slam it down to the musical sound. Yeah, everybody let's move. Vanilla is filled with a new jack groove. Gonna rock and roll the place with the power of the Ninja Turtle bass.
Go Ninja.
Probably the best Ninja Turtle song ever.
Yeah.
Like the only Ninja Turtle song ever. Actually, the theme song to that, the old Ninja Turtles animated show, like X-Men, probably the best Turtle song ever. Just
I don't know. I really like the ending of the first one, Turtle Power.
Right. Yeah, I guess it's whatever.
The OG first one, 1990.
Yeah.
You know, I was kind of surprised Michael Bay didn't put have a band just do a theme song or something for these Turtle movies. You know, because like Transformers, you know, he had like Linkin Park all over that.
Did he really?
Yes.
Yeah, they had like a song for everyone or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But today, sinners, we have a very special guest with us, friend, you know,
Former coworker.
fellow cinephile, our good friend Derrick Adams. What's up, Derrick?
Not a whole lot, just glad to be here.
Awesome.
Glad to have you.
We are glad to have you here. And so we all know why we're here. We just got out of a viewing for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, Out of the Shadows, Roundtable. What'd you think? Better than the first one? No?
Slightly better than the first one. Still not great.
I'm going to say it's not as good as the first one.
I'm also going to say the 2014 version was much better.
And unfortunately, I have to say as well, the 2014 was better.
Ooh.
I think both of them plot-wise
Lacked.
both of them. They're
Terrible
definitely kids' movies, and you can't help that Nickelodeon's got their balls all over that. But
That does suck. That made me... I was kind of bummed.
As far as kids' movies go, this one was definitely more fun.
I agree. Yeah. I mean,
Bebop and Rocksteady, hilarious.
Yeah.
It most definitely did not
Sometimes.
seem as serious as the first one. Like, the first one, for sure, had like a certain tone. This just seemed more...
Goofy.
more campy.
But the Ninja Turtles are goofy to begin with.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a very goofy franchise. Yes,
And
they are teenagers.
And again, I liked the turtle camaraderie. Awesome. Actually, all 5-6 films of that they've had, the turtle stuff's always been awesome. It's the human stuff I don't care about. Like,
Yeah.
again, Megan Fox as April O'Neil. You don't need a babe to play her, you know? She shouldn't have been cast in the first one. April O'Neil is not supposed to be the hottest chick on the block.
And she was attractive in the first one.
Yeah.
She was okay.
Yeah.
You know.
She was good looking. They've had
wasn't
good
a
looking
stunner.
actresses, but they didn't go for, like, the perfect, you know,
Sexy April O'Neil schoolgirl outfit.
yeah, up and coming actress like that to play some, you know, a role that honestly looks like Leah Thompson could have played her back in like the 80s, you know?
They ditched her signature yellow jacket look in this one. She was kind of just, you know, wearing
Terminator.
everything but in this one, yeah.
Yeah, she's a reporter, but you didn't see her at her job at all
Except
until
at
the
the
very
end,
end.
yeah.
Like, how many hours a week do you work? What are you doing? You had time to follow these turtles around New York, and
I had
none of the,
almost
you know,
forgotten she was a reporter because she didn't report.
Yeah.
Except at the end when she's like, I'm April O'Neil, and I was like, oh, there you are. I forgot. That's
Yeah.
okay.
I also feel that she was very underused in this one. Like even screen time, she didn't have a whole lot of anything on there.
And thank God for that.
Yeah, I
Yes,
can't say that I'm
not
too
for
bummed
it,
about
but-
that.
You get her in there, get her in the schoolgirl outfit, give her something to look
Get
at,
her
and
out.
get her out of there.
Get her out of here, man. We don't want you.
Same with Splinter. Splinter
Oh,
had
yeah.
a prominent role in the first one, and this one he was in like 3 or 4
Three
scenes.
scenes, probably had like
Didn't
7
do anything
lines.
significant. And same with the Shredder and Karai, who they recasted both of them, even though you see Shredder as, I guess, I don't know, shrunk a foot and a half since the first film. He's like a towering...
And he has hair.
He
has hair.
and facial hair.
Yeah.
Hair all over, you know?
Rogaine.
And suddenly those scars are gone too. He carried like 3 out of the 5.
Neosporin.
he had.
Neosporin and Rogaine.
Yeah. Like, they just...
Unofficial sponsors.
You get... I don't know. You can't look at that and be like, that's clearly the guy from the first one. I'm so convinced.
Well, you can when he brings out his claws. I mean, there's ways to tell.
Yeah, I guess. I thought the mask looked better.
Oh,
I
God,
thought the whole suit looked better.
Like they
Shredder as a whole was better. We didn't get to see it utilized, but he was definitely better in the second one. Because how are you going to start off the first movie with him in a giant mech suit and then like take it all away for the second one?
Yeah, take it
and
away.
then don't even use him?
Without them saying it, it almost seemed like the first Shredder was like the Super Shredder from Secret of the Ooze.
Yeah.
And then this Shredder, the second Shredder here was like the first Shredder from the 1990 movie. Just like the dude in a suit.
Yeah.
Come at me, bro.
I
like
agree.
one of them. Without saying it.
I agree with Tyler and you, actually. In the first one, they made this guy so colossal, so like every weapon in the book. His daggers could like fan out and shoot out and come back.
Almost looked
and
like,
in this
like
one,
a Swiss Army knife, how they fold it out. And
like a katana fan blade type thing.
like he had just had 2 big Swiss Army knives on his arm shins. What are those called? Forearms.
And then he did nothing this movie. Shredder did nothing this movie except take orders from Bossy Krang.
Frankie
and then-
Krang.
Yeah.
Oh, and we're doing spoilers. Spoiler alert.
Oh, yeah.
From here on out, the spoilers are coming.
Of course. Like every time.
They're coming at you
spoilers.
like Muhammad
Pretty
Ali.
pretty much assume we're going to do spoilers. We're still going to warn you every time, but
They're coming.
They're coming.
They're always coming.
So, Derek, as our guest, we'll start with you. Was there any high points for you of the second one, of this one, Out of the Shadows?
I liked a lot of the action they had in it, even though some of it just was real short.
Because there's a lot of action.
Yeah,
throughout
there's a
the
lot
movie.
of action. But the one thing I didn't like was the underuse of characters, like Krang.
Oh, especially Krang.
Yeah.
He was the most unutilized person out of everybody.
he did say he would be back.
Yes.
I almost feel like this was Bebop and Rocksteady's movie, and Krang's coming back for 3.
And
to
even
come back
they
for
didn't
3.
even do much.
I agree.
That's true. You're right
You could
about
hardly
that.
call it a Bebop and Rocks. What villain movie was this?
There wasn't
Shredder
even-
didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Krang was in it less than him. Bebop and Rocksteady were there, but they let Casey Jones with the different background, which I will aggressively dive into that in a minute.
Yeah, we'll take the
Yeah,
characters one
like,
by one here in a
The
minute.
Turtles are like, we should probably handle everything else except the 2 big mutants. Give it to the one human. Yeah, let's let him handle it. You guys will be fine. You got Vern the Falcon Fenwick. He's probably one of the best guys in these
That's
movies.
true. You're right.
Yeah.
Outside the Turtles, he's the only human I cared about. No offense to Stephen Amell, but you're just not Casey Jones in my eyes.
It was terrible.
You can be
Well,
Arrow
yeah,
all
let's-
you want to.
Let's wait. to dive in.
Right. I'm getting so mad just thinking about him.
It's okay, sinners.
Chris is fired up, so it's coming.
He's heated.
I'm heated.
To
Like,
say he was let down.
The temperature's rising.
it's a little
in
bit
the
of a
studio
letdown.
here.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm just gonna.
Okay.
Yeah, Bebop and Bebop and Rocksteady just.
Their chemistry between each other. My man, loved it.
Yeah.
I love their goofiness, their like stupidity. It just made them funnier. And then when they turn into the animals, you're like, okay, all right. You even got like a semi-plausible reason as to why
No.
they turn into animals.
No, that's my biggest problem with them.
Well, okay.
Every human has animal DNA. False. 100% false. Unless you're turning us into, some kind of ape. It's just false. None of us have warthog DNA. None of us have rhino DNA.
Yeah. What did they say? It's just like your animal instincts, and like you take on the animal that's most prominent, or something.
I thought it was something about like with like an isotope, which is like what some modded gene or something, right? Something with your DNA, and that in your DNA you have animal genetics that just get like brought out and projected.
I'm pretty sure the writers just took their hands and stuck it right up their ass and pulled this twist out because it doesn't make any sense.
They change a lot of stuff that didn't need to be changed. Like the Technodrome, when they're bringing that in through the end, it flies. What happened to the underground thing? Like
that
in
thing
the
was
whole
pretty
animated
big. How do you
series?
keep it underground?
No, I agree. Like I see realistically what they're doing, but
Well, there was no realism.
the
in this
turtle
at all.
fans, that's like saying, like if Iron Man, when he made the suit, he's like, I can go really fast underground with it. You're like, oh, wait, what? That don't make any sense. That's not what we know. That's not from the comics.
The Mandarin is just an alcoholic puppet.
Technodrome was I could deal with that. Didn't even have a problem with that. I thought Krang's bodysuit was cool. Like I said, the fight was very anticlimactic. Krang was different.
Brad
Well-
Garrett was not a Krang voice in my head.
Well, the final fight scene was basically the same as from the 2014. Big robot on a high platform.
Yeah, and both letdowns.
Yeah, both extreme letdowns.
Yeah, the Shredder one was actually better. If you're gonna rank
Yeah.
the two, and it's only because you can only say that because you got more of it. And again, it's always the climax, you're seeing whatever April and them are doing and whatever the Turtles are doing. You know, the few seconds you would see the Krang thing, you're like, okay, cool. And it just goes right back to Stephen Amell dealing with Bebop and Rocksteady, which is fun, but you don't... Why do you have Bebop and Rocksteady advertised all over this thing and they don't even interact with the Turtles?
Well, he doesn't even fight Casey Jones. He just Casey Jones runs from them and then pins them in a freight area.
Outwits them, yeah.
Throws a grenade, and then we never find out if they are back to human, if they just stay... Because they say the police department apprehends them, but do they apprehend human them? Do they apprehend monster
Well, they
them?
can't show them because if they do, it'll spoil everything.
I guess.
But
every
I don't
villain,
know, like,
every villain lived or somehow is going to be able to go on to a sequel should they go that route.
I didn't like any of them. Like any of the villains. Tyler Perry, what was he even there for? Besides that ridiculous laugh he kept doing?
Yeah, he
That
was
was-
okay though. He was okay as the
it was
goofy
almost-
scientist.
It was so weird.
I
The
hate
whole
Tyler
movie-
Perry just as much as any other person.
The whole movie felt like it was just like one big slapstick. Like that's all it was. Like Bebop and Rocksteady doing their bit was fine, but when they came in contact with anybody else, it didn't flow.
Yeah,
You got
I
to see
agree.
Shredder's face for the majority of the film.
Yeah.
That was my biggest problem. You can't see Shredder's face because he always has it hidden. That's the whole mystery of Shredder.
Yeah,
And he's just like,
they went
No.
the opposite of what they should have done. Instead
Yes.
of keeping the mask on him,
they took it
giving
off.
him an intense, fierce, scary look. With, like we said, what we all agreed, this mask was a little bit cooler.
Oh, it
A
was
little
10
bit
times better.
Not, looked like it was made from like Shatari scrap metal. you know. And then he had his mask on for all of 5 minutes before he got frozen. What?
I was really hoping that with casting a new Shredder, Brian T playing him in this one, I was hoping that Shredder was just going to be like a mantle that gets like passed down or something, because that would make sense. I'm like, okay, you cast an actor who doesn't look anything like the OG guy from the 2014 movie, except that they don't address any of that, and you're just left to play dumb. Like, oh, so you shrunk, you grew hair, you sort of had a whole complete makeover, and we're just supposed to accept it, and I'm not okay with that. If you want to recast the girl, that's fine. She didn't do anything this time, but I had a problem with the recasting of Shredder and no explanation for it. Something that far out should have been addressed.
I don't even think they called Karai.
Did they even give her a name?
They
In
don't
the first
think
one,
they
I
even
think in the
acknowledged-
first one they said her name
Who was
like one
Karai?
time. But
The
Karai is
sister.
Shredder's daughter.
gal. She led the Foot Clan in the first one.
She's his
Okay.
daughter in the comic material, right?
Yeah.
And then in the first one, like the only one where you hear her name and she's prominent, they don't even say anything about that. Like she's just as intimidated as the big, not Shredder, as everyone else. I did like the foot soldiers were a little more ninja-ish, but the only problem, even if they are ninja-ish, they can't go one-on-one with the turtles like in the 90s film because the turtles are Hulk size,
Yeah.
That's what I want to see. If you're making Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, you got the teenage, the mutant, and the turtles right. They can't ninja anyone because one kick and these guys go flying through the wall.
Well, they can't take turtles, but Casey Jones can take them. They can take every cop on the force, apparently. Casey Jones was the only one who could go toe-to-toe with the Foot Clan. So why Casey's not leading the police force, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't get why. And that the new chick, the head, I don't remember her name in real life. The Jim
Lena
Carrey's
Headey?
wife from the
Or
Truman
no,
Show.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, Laura Linney?
Laura
Yeah,
Linney,
that's her name. I was like,
She's boring.
I watched the Truman Show a few
Yes.
weeks ago, and I was like, I don't like you because of what you did to Jim Carrey. So I don't like you in this movie. And
I don't
actually,
like what you did to Truman.
I think she was just dumb as the cop person overall.
Yeah,
Like,
I love how in the beginning she's like, they're monsters, and then at the end she's like, you guys should just be happy with who you are. It's like, what? What? You're the reason they're insecure. You're the main reason.
you had the reaction that they all said, that Master Splinter said you would.
Mikey was about to cry.
It was
Yeah.
crying.
Yeah.
It's like, it's okay, buddy. Just calm down.
The middle of the movie where it kind of gets personal for the turtles, and Mikey and Raph are like, we should do this to become human, fit in. And Donatello got told no one time and was like, okay, man, we're
That's
we're
cool.
good.
You're
We're
the
good.
leader,
Hey,
dude.
You're the leader, man. Yeah, I really liked that. They had it a little bit personal, way better X-Men 3 cure bit that could have been.
Yeah.
I really liked it in this one. Outside of every other crap plot hole in this, the focus between the turtles and the cure and that little bonding moment they all have, I liked it.
Well, this is my least favorite incarnation of Leonardo ever.
And
He's just too white. Like usually, I really hate Raphael. Hate him.
shut up. I'm
My
sorry,
least
that-
favorite.
That was out of line.
But
I love
and,
Raphael.
and this one, Leonardo just seemed like he was the Debbie Downer. You know, usually it's like everyone's cool, and then Raph's like, "Oh, I'm big and tough, so I should be the leader, and I'm gonna cry about it." And everyone else is like, "Dude, calm down." And this one, Leonardo's like, "Well, I'm the leader, so you can either do what I say or get out."
Yeah. Now that you mention it, I'm kind of thinking back on it. Yeah, I guess he was a little.
And I'm a little butthurt that they didn't use Knoxville again, because I love Johnny Knoxville.
Oh, I was totally okay with him not.
I was
casting
fine with that.
Knoxville.
Derek.
Either way,
It's not that I
didn't care for it.
necessarily liked Knoxville as Leonardo. I just like
I
Johnny
just like
Knoxville.
I like the tension they brought to it. Like they literally, because it happens, I think, in the comics and the animated stuff, the TV stuff. Like they have their own squabbles. Like they fight each other every once in a while. And with Leo being pretty much like the leader and being like, okay, well, if you don't like it, hit the road. Like that to me that made sense. That's how it's always been. That's how I always saw it. So I always liked that. I liked the tension they had between them in this film. I was kind of disappointed how they just made up at the very end. They're just like, we got to do it for the sake of humanity. Okay, well, what about when you guys were in Brazil? What about that? Humanity then didn't happen. Didn't see it.
Taking him out of New York City was a little weird. Like the Brazil bit.
Yeah,
I like that.
Well,
was,
they didn't even get
Well,
to
they
Brazil.
didn't even land though. They were just in the air.
they were in the
No,
air.
They got into the
Bebop and
river.
Rocksteady were in Brazil. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
I love
But didn't
how-
they land in the river?
Well,
after
yeah, but they
crashed.
just get picked up and then they're back in New York.
Who picked him up? I don't remember.
I don't even know if
I
they
don't-
they just hitch a ride because after that is when they're fighting
They just-
in the cargo plane. Like, oh yeah, well you have brains but you don't have heart or whatever. And he's like, well, Raph just does this, and Leo's like, oh yeah, well you guys can all shut up, And so they're all just kind of bickering there. You don't really see
Is that when-
definitively.
Is that when
picks
Leo
them up.
drops that line where he's like, "The only opinion that matters in this group is mine," or something
I
like
think
that?
that was a
that's
different
in the
time.
sewer. Yeah,
Is that in the sewer?
That's post.
That's
what we're
right
doing.
before.
When he said that, I just want to be like, you
That's-
got 3 turtles against your 1 Leo.
That's
Like, 1,
that's
2,
when I
3,
looked at
like-
Leo and I was like, nah, man, it's not the way.
Nope.
That maybe was a little bit out of line. I can totally get him like when he was talking to Splinter and he was like, Raph just gets mad at everything I say. Donnie's too busy in his head, and Mikey's too busy worrying about the rest of the world. Doing
Well,
whatever.
they said it better than that. They
Yeah, no, you're right. That was not.
said
verbatim.
something about Raph's brain being in his muscles
Yeah,
and
you're right.
Mikey's head is in the clouds and Donnie's brains.
faces in the computer or something.
Yeah.
Right. That to me,
I thought that was a pretty good line.
that was a good line. Like that summed it up in a nutshell to Splinter. And Splinter's like, yeah, you don't want to all be the same. Like Splinter should have been like, Leo, if they were all like you, how do you think this group would go? You all would be pissed.
Nowhere.
I would have a dick measuring contest trying to lead this group. Like,
Shell measuring contest.
oh, sorry.
Well,
Be anatomically correct.
what I thought was ironic was Raph going to Leo saying, where's your honor? And then immediately doing a 360 and lying to April and Casey. It's like,
Yeah.
you shouldn't lie, Leonardo. Hey, April and Casey, guess what? I got a web of lies to spin for you.
I thought that's why he did it. Was like, our leader doesn't seem to have this bit of honor, so I don't feel that I need to share all
so
of
I'm
my
going to go
plans.
throw a hissy fit.
I kind of wanted to see them human. Like, I thought it was a weird plot point, but I was like, is this going to happen? Are they going to do it?
It would have worked really well since they used the mocap, though. Because the turtles look like the people who played them. They
Yeah.
did
You can see
all
it
of
in
it
their faces.
in motion capture.
I'm really glad they didn't do that. Actually,
I also
Yeah,
think that's
as
why
it
they
was
didn't use
coming-
Knoxville's voice, though.
As it was coming, I was like, oh.
It wouldn't have worked with
You don't think
Knoxville's
so?
voice. No, because they would have had that kid, and then he would have been like, instead of being like, shut up, Raph, he would have been like, shut up, Raph, and he'd have been like,
There
oh,
was-
you're the only one who changed your vocals.
There was times I think he tried to sound similar to Knoxville, or
I heard that in the very beginning.
Maybe he just sounds similar to him. But there was times I was like, I had a hard time deciphering if Knoxville was actually the voice or not until the credits.
I remember asking you before when we saw the trailer, I was like, dude, that doesn't even sound like Johnny. And you were like, yeah, it is. Even though he's like, what button? There are a million buttons. Johnny Knoxville would have been like, shut up, Raph. Where's these buttons at? Nah,
The
jackass.
very first time you hear Leonardo talk, because I was looking for it, because I was upset about the Knoxville situation, I definitely heard some Knoxville in his voice.
I'm fine they did it without Knoxville. The only reason I'm not fine they didn't do it with Knoxville is because Knoxville was there first. And it's like, you make 2 unnecessary changes to Shredder and Karai, and then you take out your prominent Turtles voice for whatever reason that is. Whether Knoxville was like, I don't know if I
Easy.
want to...
That's star power,
No,
bro.
no.
Yes.
Knoxville didn't turn that down. You think what is Knoxville doing that he's got so much money he can turn down a Ninja Turtles movie?
He's an actor. You never know, man.
No,
I don't think he turned it down. I don't think they asked him to come back. They
Johnny
didn't
Knoxville
need to.
is a jackass. Like, by trade, that's his job. If they say, come do this movie, he did The Ringer. He's not going to turn down a Ninja Turtles movie.
I guess you're right.
If Knoxville turned down a Ninja Turtles movie, he's an idiot.
He was only asked to
Unless
join
he's
the
doing something
crew.
with Jackass and that whole crew.
They're not. I don't think they're doing anything.
Whatever executive
I think
prick
they're done doing the jackass.
decided to take his voice out.
I think they might still do more
That
bad
was
grandpa
just-
stuff, but
to me, that was unnecessary. Like, honestly, I think the kid probably felt bad in the first one. He's the only voice that got, taken out besides.
Well, Splinter's not
Splinters.
voiced by his mocap.
No, and his mocap, I don't think came back for this one.
I think it was a different guy.
I think
yeah.
he was pissed. Danny Masters? No, that's Danny Woodburn or something like that.
Something
right?
like that, yeah.
The
Because this
short-
one was
the
somebody
short guy.
else. Peter Donald this is a mouthful. Badalamenti the second,
Huh.
who doesn't even look like a
Turtle.
what? No, Splinter, bro. He doesn't look like
A
a.
rat?
He's not a midget.
Rat.
The first
So-
one was mocapped
okay.
by a midget.
So
this one
did
was
you
not.
did
Or, I'm
Raph's
sorry, dwarf.
voice in this seem not as harsh as it was in the last one?
Raphael?
Yeah, it didn't seem as grunty. He's using his Batman voice.
Yeah.
He wasn't like that in this film. Like in this one, he was just I guess calmer. He seemed more. There was like, I don't know, the way his voice seemed different to me, and I was like, you don't sound like
Wait,
Raph.
so who does everybody have a favorite turtle? Chris, do you have a favorite turtle?
Raphael.
Derek?
It was Leo, but Raph is not my favorite.
Okay. So you were before this movie you were
You were
pro Leo?
Pro Leo, always been pro.
Tyler,
Leo.
do you have a favorite?
yeah, Donatello.
Oh, there it is, Donatello. We finally agree on something.
See, I think
Yeah.
he's my second favorite, Donatello.
I always like the brainy types. I think Donatello is.
He's my boy.
Well, in this,
He's got the most, not the most. He's got the best.
well, I feel like in these two movies, they definitely show that he's the smart one instead of just giving him like smart dialogue. Like you see what's on his back and be like, oh man.
Oh yeah, he hacks everything
He
in
made
this
it.
movie, which was another thing that made me mad. He's like, "That's alien tech from another dimension. I'll hack it."
hack the planet.
What?
Yeah.
What? Like
You know what I really like about Donatello in these? His stick.
his staff is awesome. Oh,
Because it's always like, you're bringing a wooden stick to a shredder fight. You're not going to win. But this time, it's got some tech on it. It's got,
he definitely wields it amazingly. Like in the 2014 movie when they raid the sewers and he's like knocking all those trank darts out. Even Mikey with his chucks, who like didn't use them at all in this one. In fact, none of them really used any of their
used
weapons.
his nunchucks in this one. His giant car nunchucks.
Yeah, either way, all their weapons were just sidelined, and I was like, "Oh, okay,
Well,
you're
same thing-
taking away a part of their identity." And
The
that makes
same
me
thing
mad.
happened in
The
Secret
other-
of the Ooze.
Yeah, the other number two.
Yeah.
Which actually, when I watched it, they had their weapons out, and like I remember Leonardo looked like he was he was using his sword sheaths one time.
Yeah.
In the second movie, and I was like, "There's no blades on that, bro. There's no handles on that either. You're just holding the sheaths."
Those are just the dummy rubber ones that he had
Yeah,
to use.
yeah. Like the prop guy was like, "This is all we have."
Wasn't that due to like they wanted to make it more kid friendly with Secret of the Ooze, and
that's
that's
what I
why?
thought.
Probably.
Yeah.
God, that
Because it wasn't
sucks.
as dark either, too, right? That's why they lightened it up a little bit.
See, another thing with them having these blades as weapons, excluding Donatello and Michelangelo. When Leonardo hits someone with them, hi, shouldn't you be slicing something off or blood splattering?
He definitely-
What does he hit him with the flat
yeah.
side of the sword?
I
And
kinda
that's
wondered
in
that.
every turtle movie.
I don't think Raphael has blades.
I mean, he's got size.
Well, he's got
He got the
points.
size. He's
though.
got points. He's a stabber, not a slicer.
But
I was
still-
I was in the
you can still
bathroom.
carve.
I was in the
Yeah.
bathroom when we talked about favorites. Who's everybody's favorite? I know you're Donatello, Nick.
I was Leo, now I'm Raph.
Ooh,
Raph, pro Raph,
Whoa,
forever.
whoa. I expected a Michelangelo. To me, the best two are definitely Donatello and Michelangelo.
See, I can agree with Donatello, and I like them all. I don't know, Mikey just.
I felt like I felt like he wasn't as funny in this one. I like him in all the other ones, including the OG3, but not. And I feel like in this one his lines just weren't as funny, as hard hitting as they were in the 2014 version.
I feel like the dialogue as a whole in the most recent two weren't that great. I didn't like the dynamics between the turtles. I think they were definitely way better in the first three live action, and even some of the cartoons is definitely way better than the two.
See, here's my
atrocities.
problem with the 2014 with Mikey. Like, to me, I thought he was almost too overboard with all his nonsense, like his
So was
jokes,
everybody
his,
though.
his quips and all that crap towards everything. But in this one, they toned it down to a point, I guess. But the Turtles is like the only reason why I enjoyed most of these two movies. Like
Turtles is
the
the only
Turtles,
reason to enjoy
the
these
only
movies.
thing I've liked out of all of it. Like I don't like the story. I don't like any of the humans. They're all ridiculous, and the villains are all underused.
We were given a chance with this new Casey Jones, who, Jesus Christ, he's like an officer in training, and he's like, I want to be a New York City detective.
But he's still the best fighter out of all the cops on
Right.
the force.
I'll show you. I'm going to be a detective.
And then he tells this woman his story, right? And as she sees stuff's going on, she's still like she doesn't even give him like a chance to like.
Oh yeah, dump truck. Okay.
I like how she breaks her own laws by, like, April's like, I want my phone call. She's like, nope. And he's like, well, that's kind of the law. You have to. And she's like, I don't think so. Okay.
I don't have to do anything
What
until
happened
you
to the
tell
other
me
guy
what
that
those
was
things
riding
were.
with them in the car when the car chase scene? Oh, he got thrown. Did he get thrown out of the car?
He got
Yeah,
he jumped or thrown out.
Rocksteady knocked him out,
Right.
yeah. Because he's like, hey, and then, like, just pushes him out and game over.
He rolls.
Oh, but they don't get his testimony, though, because they interview Stephen Amell, call him fucking crazy for it. And they're like, good one, you idiot. You're laid off.
I'd be like,
you know.
dude, five of your police cars blew up. Like, what part of my story exactly is sounding crazy?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
his
you trusted me to be an officer of the law, and here you are telling me I'm lying?
his whole line where he was just like, "We were ambushed." Like I was like, he does have a point.
Yeah.
he does have
That's
a
all
point.
you needed to say.
And she's just like, "Nope, don't believe you, piece of shit."
Yeah.
This whole fight in New York City, there was bound to be a street camera there, first of all. And two, you know, like, come on.
How come Donnie didn't hack it? Huh?
Donnie didn't hack it.
Donnie
That's
just
what
didn't
happened.
send her an email saying he's right.
Oh, and
Here's
that's
the
another
footage.
thing. They get the footage and it shows April, but it doesn't show Bebop and Rocksteady. And she's like,
No,
the footage has been tampered with, and she's like, it checks out, it's authentic. Are
Well,
you fucking kidding me?
I don't think anything was edited. I just think some of it was omitted.
I
right?
think-
So
well-
none of the footage was like doctored. It was just like the ends chopped off. You know what I mean?
I still
it was
feel-
the meat. It
And
had no
that's-
bread.
That's another thing too. Like because when you get the clock camera, it's almost like a wider view of everything. Because when you see the police footage, it's like her little narrow ass running up, and
That's
stealing
true.
the thing, and that's it. That's all you see. Like the other one has a bigger scale to it, so you actually can.
They would
see
not have
everything.
accepted footage just from one camera, though. They would have been like, there's
No,
3
you're
cameras in
right.
here. I want
Yeah.
footage from all of them. And
Can
even
we-
if they were all doctored, you cannot just ignore like, oh, April went in and crushed your lab and stuff. That's weird.
In the footage where you see April, I guess just looking like she's stealing a thing, don't you see some like stuff going on in like the background and stuff?
You see like flashes and
There's
I
definitely
would
like
be
some like
so you
damage.
think April broke in there, started all that ruckus over there in that corner where you can't see out of the camera?
Broke all this glass, busted up all this lab work, but it was probably
Like,
April. You're
ran
right.
up, grabbed the serum, like selfie mode in front of the camera,
Yeah.
throw the deuces.
She
and-
did the duck face for the camera and then left.
Right.
Can we talk about the clock camera bit real quick? Because I thought that was hilarious. Where he traced the cord all the way around the room,
Yeah.
and then the panel was right under the camera. Totally unbelievable, but hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, I like I said, Vern Fenwick to me.
That was
and
funny.
probably just because it's Michael Arnett.
Will
Arnett.
Will, yeah, well, I don't know. Michael Arnett's weird. Will Arnett, I like the guy, but he's
Yeah.
the only.
Ever
human.
since Arrested Development, Will Arnett.
Stephen Amell is just too handsome to play the street vigilant, who's not a street vigilante anymore. Casey Jones, Elias Koteas.
Was
In the first one,
fantastic.
he was the best Casey Jones.
So
Wayne
good.
Gretzky on steroids.
Yeah.
Like
You got to learn to
greaseball
say
hair.
cricket before you can
Like,
say crumpet before
You
you
had
can say
you had to
cricket.
get Hollywood's newest hunk to put next to
Hollywood's
Hollywood's
newest
can't
hunk.
Well,
acting babe.
You know what? I don't think he's good as Arrow.
Oh, shots fired, son.
I tried to get
What?
back into Arrow, and then I got like halfway through the season, and I was like, I just don't enjoy this.
He's
No,
a
no,
good
no, no. Wait,
TV
did you
Arrow.
only watch the first season?
I didn't get through the.
Then
first
that
season.
was the problem. He's so stiff. Like he's definitely grown into the role now. I think if you give it a chance, if you can put aside the like drama aspect that the CW has to have in every fucking show, including CW and Flash, or I'm sorry, Supernatural and Flash.
But Supernatural is way better than Arrow.
well,
Long live Supernatural.
Yeah, they could go ahead and end it. It's been 11 seasons. Time's up.
You know what?
And
People still want it. They wouldn't make it if people still didn't
I want it, but it's the same. It's always the same.
Yeah,
It's
but
always the
It's
same.
time for
But it's
Jensen
good.
Ackles to graduate
Thank you.
to more DC movies.
I was
Live
okay with
action?
Stephen Amell. I would have liked a more roughed up looking one. I definitely would have liked a different story. But I guess if you have a handsome dude like that, you can't just have him
Yeah,
be like
oh,
a
you-
rugby street hockey dude.
But that's who he's supposed to
He
be.
should
Don't
have been
cast him
Well,
if you can't use him that way.
Well, that's what I'm saying, though. Unless
Who would have been better? Do you got any ideas? Like who could play that rough, long hair? Oh,
Even if you
you
had
know what?
Stephen Amell,
You could have roughed him up.
roughed him. He could have played the same guy minus the police detective nonsense.
Nah, I think you could have cast him way better.
I'm not saying you can't.
yeah, I'm just saying I'm fine with Stephen Amell.
If the studio was like, no, we want Amell no matter what, I don't care who we can afford and who we can't, then be like, okay, so let's...
I blame
Like how he looks on Arrow in the island? Why wasn't he, minus the beard, why wasn't he Casey Jones?
I blame the shittiness of his performance here due to what he was given to do, but in the movie.
Like, I'm proud he made it into a blockbuster, live-action blockbuster. You've had a successful show on TV. You've obviously established your own little fan base. You've graduated to a franchise, I guess, if that's what they're going to start now. Whatever. Good
What?
for you.
Franchise what? Turtles?
Yeah.
I kind of hope
this
they
new
end
one.
it. I kind of hope this is it.
I think they'll make a third one. They're going to cut it after that. They're going to make a new trilogy, and that's going to be it. Done. Never to seen again.
I don't know if this
them
movie
all.
has released everywhere yet, but I know its opening weekend here was like
Is only
was
okay.
like 50% of what it grossed in 2014. So
Yeah, maybe they'll kill it.
numbers speak volumes sometimes. So
stab
if
it
it
in
is
the
the
back.
numbers game they decide to go with, I don't think they will go with the trilogy.
See, and I won't be heartbroken if they do that because I enjoy the older movies. It's just the new stuff, man. It's all Michael Bay.
Well, let's analyze the 2014 version. Everything was just super coincidental. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
So these turtles are going around saving the city. The
yeah.
one person who sees them is just so happened the only person who's gonna know who they were.
Yeah.
She just happened to own and name these turtles, and then they loop back around into her life, and she just so happens to know the guy who's teaming up with Shredder, and it's so coincidental. Like you didn't have that was unnecessary story.
Yeah.
And they got a scientist in this one, just like in Secret of the Ooze. This one is Baxter Stockman, who was all right, I guess, in his own character. I don't hate Tyler Perry.
I don't
But
like
I
him, but I
wish-
thought he was okay in this.
I didn't like his laugh.
He was.
I thought it was
a little
okay.
goofy.
I kind of liked his laugh.
At least he wasn't wearing a fat suit this time. At least he was himself.
Yeah.
He wasn't a woman.
He wasn't Medea showing up.
He played in something else though recently, didn't he?
I mean, he was in the first Star Trek.
He's been in
Was
this.
he?
He's
Couple
like the
shows,
captain
yeah.
of like the council that suspends Kirk or whatever.
Hey, he was that remake of that.
Oh, he's in
know.
Gone Girl.
Yeah, that's it. He was in.
He
Gone
plays
Girl.
the defense attorney for Ben
He is in
Affleck.
Gone Girl. That's
He's
true.
good in
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
I
he's
mean, not that he had
He
a whole
plays, man, that's like a book series.
Alex Cross.
Alex Cross.
but that
that's
movie
him.
fucking tanked, man.
No, you're
Okay,
right. Okay,
well.
I'm just saying.
Oh, I was excited for it. I didn't
That,
see it.
that
but-
version of that character did not do so well as Morgan Freeman's character.
How do you decide
Well,
Morgan Freeman?
didn't Rob Cohen direct Tyler Cross though?
Yes.
And that
Rob
guy,
Cohen
Tyler
also
Cross.
directed The Mummy
I'm
3,
sorry, Alex
so-
Cross. Rob Cohen though is a fucking joke filmmaker. I
mean-
mean,
you mean-
oh my god.
The Mummy, Tomb of the Dragon Emperor. Hold on, can we all take a minute to just silently laugh at that?
Yeah,
Laugh out loud. if
I'm
you
still.
want.
This is an audio show. I don't think
Yeah,
you
I
should
think-
laugh in silence.
Well, everyone can laugh with us in a moment of silence if they want.
It took me like 3 weeks to stitch my heart back up after seeing The Mummy 3. I literally have not seen it since we saw it.
I
in theaters.
saw the
Right.
first 10 minutes of it.
I haven't finished it.
I wish I'd only seen that much.
I don't even remember anything outside of there being like giant yetis.
Well, I know that it suffered the same
Yes.
problem that episode 2 of Star Wars suffered, which was the kid grew up and nobody else fucking aged.
Right. 10 years later, never.
Little Junior grows up and he's like a man.
And they recast his mom, right?
They did, yeah. Rachel Weisz opted out of it smartly. I think due to
I
like
think-
pregnancy,
yeah, she
but
said
secretly
pregnancy.
due to like this movie sucks.
Well, look at X-Men. Apocalypse? Dude, how many of those guys survived something 20 years ago and they're all looking the same age? Mystique's like,
That's true.
I was nervous on my first mission like 20 years ago. Bitch, Sansa looks older than you, man. I'm sorry, Sansa. Game of Thrones fan. Sorry. Jean Grey looks older than you. Like, what 20 years? What, you can take away your wrinkles? Is that it? Like,
But she
how
is
do
a
you-
mutant.
How do you explain Beast? Looks like the same nerd.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, you can explain that away because Mystique can look like anyone.
Yeah.
Boom,
Yeah, whatever.
done.
That cop out.
No, it's not a cop out.
Okay, how do you explain McAvoy, Beast, and Quicksilver don't look any older?
Well, okay. no.
Quicksilver only
Havoc-
matured. Exactly.
Havoc
All
survived
did
all
was, like,
well.
Her
Survived.
Havoc went to war.
Made it into all
got
three,
his hair
but
chopped off.
Rest in
Came
peace,
back
Havoc.
and was like, I'm tired of having my Marine cut. I'm gonna grow it out Miami Vice style. Like,
Yeah, that's
man,
true.
you really 180'd. I feel like most people that come out of the military keep the same. That's just how they're used. Keep the same short, like crew cut hairstyle. I don't know. I'm not an army guy, so not saying they have
Routinely,
to.
that's
I
usually
just
what
thought
happens.
he went the opposite way. He was like, I'm gonna let my freak flag fly. Did the turtles look slightly smaller in this?
I thought
We had
all of them
Okay.
looked smaller.
Thank you. It was like Mikey looked really small in this one. And Raph
Stephen
didn't
Amell
look as
was
big.
almost same size as Raph.
Yeah.
Which, like, when they had, like, their little, like, I'm tougher than you are sort of standoff, I was like, dude, you guys are almost eye to eye, which to me was not the case in the 2014 version. Raph clearly was the largest, he was like
biggest one.
7.5 feet, towering over just about anybody except Yao Ming and friends,
I like that you assume Yao Ming has tall friends, but
Yeah, he played basketball. I'm going to go ahead and assume that he does.
oh yeah, okay,
He might
fair
have had a
enough.
few tall teammates.
I think they looked better in this one than the 2014 version because they toned a lot of the accessories down. Like if you notice in the first one, Raphael has the bandana and some sunglasses that he never wears, and then
Well,
Leonardo's
Mikey-
got the stupid like chest
bamboo
piece.
chest
That was
thing.
so dumb.
Well,
And-
Mikey has like a Flavor Flav medallion on going
Yeah, he's got
in,
the
In this one?
2014.
No.
No, 2014 one.
Yeah, so that they toned down the accessories, which was cool. I mean, I do like the idea of the accessories making them more
Their
individual,
identity, yeah.
but they way overdid it in the first
But
one.
see, that was the thing too. Like with Donatello in this one, I felt like he definitely got smaller. Like,
Yeah, he went
skinnier.
on like a slim fast.
Yeah,
He did get skinnier, and I think it worked.
See,
Yeah.
well, and that part of me is like, well, maybe because the first film he had so much junk on him, maybe that's kind of deterred his size from my eyes, or if they just wanted to have like a more natural look. I guess maybe that's why they all kind of toned down. They like Raph wasn't as big, but he was still bigger than.
Well, the new
Most of the other ones.
Nickelodeon show, the CG one, it definitely
I like
it
that show a lot.
definitely shows the difference in them by their size and stature. Mikey's a short one, Donnie's a tall one, Raph and Leo were like slightly, taller than the other, but one's bulky.
you
And this one showed a lot more.
Are you talking about the show with like the squarish kind of animation? You know what I'm talking
yeah, the
about?
new one on Nickelodeon?
Man, I went to watch a couple episodes of that just for this podcast. And I was just going to watch the first episode. I liked it so much. I think I'm like 5 or 6 episodes in.
My son likes it. Yeah,
It's really good, I think.
I like it. Nothing's gonna top the classic animated show from
The 80s or whatever.
90s or whatever. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That to me is always gonna be the best. But this one's pretty cool, man.
If
I
it's-
like this one.
If it says anything, I'll never probably watch these 2 movies again unless a third one comes out. And I probably will continue on that cartoon.
Well, in the cartoon,
kinda
you
enjoyed
will
it.
run into, they have like a crossover. So, like the 80s Turtles, the animated, do show up in this. And I think these Turtles go to the animated,
You see-
80s animated universe.
In
So,
in
something to
in
look
this
forward
show that
to.
I'm talking about?
I don't know if the episode
Whoa.
actually came out yet, but they were advertising it.
Man, that's so
I think
cool.
I saw it I saw the ad a long time ago. I felt like it had come out already.
Yeah, I'm really into it. I really like that show.
Didn't they have a animated TV series in the early 2000s?
Yeah.
Did they? Yeah.
Right after
That
the
was
animated
not
movie?
long.
They only had like 2 or 3 seasons of it, I think.
Oh,
Maybe
the
4 or
animated
5.
movie was
I liked
TMNT.
Oh wait, are we talking the animated movie or that
Well, it
second
came out right
animated
after.
show?
Well, they came
It
out
right
with
after.
a show after
yeah,
the movie.
with
What was wrong with the
completely
movie?
like different looks.
The animated
Yeah.
movie.
I thought it was okay.
I just, well, I don't know. When I think theaters, I want to see live action. That's all I want to see. I want to see live action. I want to see it as real as possible.
Well, let's
so
say
it's like
just-
animated. That's what you have the shows for. I wanted to see, like, if they made an animated Scooby Doo movie that went to theaters, I'd be like, eh. I mean, not that the real live action Scooby Doo movies were fantastic, but they are, I guess, going to give it another shot.
You know, I rewatched the first one recently, and I kind of liked it. I don't like Scrappy's part in it, but I liked the people they cast. I thought the casting was spot on. Like, Fred was good, Shaggy was good, Velma was good, Daphne was fine. I never liked Daphne in the cartoons anyway.
She sucks.
So, Scooby looked good. and- I mean, who else, if they remake Scooby-Doo live action and Matthew Lillard isn't Shaggy, I probably won't watch
He
it.
is the best part of
He's
that.
so good as
Yeah.
Shaggy. He's the voice of Shaggy on the cartoons now.
Good for him.
Since Casey
He's-
Kasem
He's great.
died. Okay, I was like, dude, died.
Yeah, he's dead as shit.
I was just gonna say he wasn't on the show.
R.I.P.
Died, his
Casey,
wife, like, hid his
R.I.P.
corpse.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, Matthew Lillard is Shaggy on the shows.
Yeah, he's great.
I agree. I like the Scooby-Doo live action ones for what they are. I didn't like all the like pot references to Scooby and Shaggy in the first one.
I love it. Who
Oh,
cares?
yeah.
Because
Right
kids
off the
aren't going to notice.
Man.
Hold on.
I don't care if
Hold
they notice
on.
or not.
No,
That's
no, no.
taking away the,
Go back
the
to Shrek.
morality of that show, man.
Go back to Shrek. Even Ninja Turtles had like some like adult jokes.
Shrek don't have no damn precursor show where he didn't do any of that. And
But Shaggy clearly is a stoner, even in the cartoons. It's true. It's more
Yeah.
true to the cartoons than the villains were in the movies.
I don't know. Like when she was like, Isla Fisher, whatever her name is. She's
Isla
like,
Fisher, yeah.
I'm Mary Jane. He's like, that's like my favorite name. I was like,
Well,
dude,
but no,
what?
not one kid is gonna understand that, and then they're gonna get older,
That
doesn't
start
make it
smoking weed and laugh about it.
That doesn't make it okay.
No,
though.
it makes it okay.
I don't think it does.
I think it makes it
Even
okay.
right
I
off
don't
the
like it.
right off the get go when they're on the beach. You see them in their van, and there's nothing but smoke coming out of
Yeah,
it.
the
And
shots.
they're just like, "Oh, this is gonna be great." And then it goes in, they're cooking fucking bananas or some shit.
Sinners, let me know if I'm wrong on this, but I think that the live-action Scooby-Doo movies were originally written for adults, and then they tuned it down to write it for children. So they kept some of the stoner jokes in, and I think you need adult jokes in a kid's movie to get parents in the seats. You know, that's why
think you're
adults
worried about
like
parents in the
Shrek
seats.
was because
Now the
you
parents
know
are the
it
ones
had
buying
some
the
adult
tickets.
humor. I mean, even SpongeBob. You know, there's lots of cartoons and animated properties that slip adult jokes in there.
But the reason the Shrek franchise sucked so much ass at the end was
'cause they
because
took-
Mike Myers literally did not want the adult innuendo in it. He did
took
not
it
want to
out,
make
yeah.
movies that he did not want his kids watching because
just
it had those innuendos in it.
But yet he did Cat in the Hat.
Well, that was before he said that. That was still in
was
the
it?
middle of the Shrek franchise.
But that doesn't.
Why do you think Shrek 3 and was there 4th? Shrek 4?
There's
They
like-
both sucked. They didn't have as much of that innuendo in it because Mike Myers was not okay with it.
Why do you care if it's a joke? Sorry, sinners. I didn't mean to burp like that. But why can't you have the adult jokes if the kids aren't going to get it? Mary Jane to a kid is a name.
I'm fine with some adult jokes, but making Scooby and
How did we
Shaggy
get so
out to
far
be
off the rails on this?
like just bluntly, bluntly throw it in your face like that. I didn't. That just took away.
They
The
didn't throw it in your
humanity
face.
from
I thought that was super subtle.
No, they blew it. In
Okay,
No,
so
it's
she
just
said.
Mary Jane. That was
Okay,
totally in your face.
hold on. She said, "My name is Mary Jane." He said, "That's like my favorite name." Couldn't he have just been hitting on her? You know, if a pretty girl tells me her name, and you know, that's my new favorite
Right,
name.
but we already have the pre-context clues. Where smoke in the van. Like
That's why it's
Scooby
for.
them.
That's why that joke's for me and you, not your kids.
I don't like it.
I think it takes a lot of skill to write a
I'm
kids
fine
movie.
with some adult innuendo in there, but who directed? Was it Raha
Raha
Gosnell?
Gosnell.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
I think it takes a lot of skill to write a movie that appeals to children and adults.
See, I'm
And I
kinda,
think-
I'm kind of with you on this. I think they originally made it for an older audience.
Hanna-Barbera in the 60s.
no,
No, well,
The
no,
live action.
The live action. The live action
it
stuff.
was-
They made
yeah.
it.
it was
Sure.
written to be like an adult movie.
Yeah.
Okay,
That to me
no,
is more
I can
adult.
totally see
Almost
you
like
adulted up
isn't that
to
what
get
the
adults
Brady Bunch
in
kind of
it.
did with their movie? It was kind of like a haha, we're the Brady Bunch, but we're the adult Brady
Okay.
Bunch.
Yeah,
All
they,
right.
they almost parried it.
Yes, yes,
let's
exactly.
Let's take the
21 Jump Street, same
Let's
thing.
take the same director, same.
21 Jump Street's not for kids, though.
Yeah, but it was definitely more.
It also was serious.
Adult.
Like in the
Yeah.
TV show, it was more.
You know what I mean? They take the source material
drama.
and they poke fun at it,
Was
and
not
that's
a
what they were
cartoon.
doing.
Yeah. Well,
We're talking Hanna-Barbera,
Ah,
a cartoon from the 60s, Family Time. Same. They
He was a
produced.
stoner. He was a stoner
They
in the
produced-
cartoons.
They don't bluntly say that he's.
I know, but they allude to it just like they did in the
How?
live action.
How?
Case in point.
In the
I had the-
cartoons?
I had the
Because
whole-
they're always eating. They always have the munchies. Clear. Okay, sinners. I think we should get back to
Okay.
Ninja Turtles pretty quickly.
Hold on.
This wasn't a Scooby-Doo podcast. If they make
Chunk
a new
in the
one.
Goonies is always eating, and not once is Corey Feldman
He's
like,
a little fat
Chunk,
kid."
lay off the pot.
No, he's not.
Put
Do
the
the
blunt
truffle
down,
shuffle,
Chunk.
you fucking pothead.
Shaggy's skinny.
So?
So Chunk is fat. I mean,
That just means Chunk is more of a pothead because he eats more.
he just has that.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
And how much does
I'm
Shaggy
that
actually eat? Scooby always steals his food. Boom, mic drop.
Ooh.
Mic drop. Look, I'm just saying, Raha Gosnell did another Hanna-Barbera property, 2 of them in fact,
what were they?
Smurfs.
the Smurfs, and not one, unnecessary adult joke.
Because the Smurfs weren't stoners in the cartoon, and Smurfs suck. What was the other one?
You can call him Shaggy and Scooby.
What was the other one?
No, I'm saying
No,
he
that's
did.
Smurfs 1 and
he
2.
did
Oh.
two. Sorry, I probably worded that wrong. He did two
You said
two
two.
Smurfs movies.
Yeah,
Yeah. I just don't get. I just thought it was unnecessary. I'm a hardcore Scooby-Doo fan. Didn't need. It was unnecessary.
I think they could have could have done less of the pot stuff. Like, I thought the smoke out of the van, I
Yeah.
thought that was kind of funny.
Okay,
And then
fine.
it goes in and they're grilling because they're getting ready to eat. That's what they do. But it doesn't imply that, hey, we just smoked a fat bleezy. Now we're going to eat this rack of ribs and this fucking 9-foot sub.
And I meet the girl of my dreams named Mary Jane.
They
right?
could have just thrown less in there, I guess, is all I'm getting.
Fine, yeah, I'm fine if you want to put the van smoke scene.
Or we could all change our tampons and be adults and realize that kids wouldn't have got that joke anyway.
But what if a kid did? That's all it's about.
If a kid got that
Look.
joke, then the parents aren't paying enough attention anyway. If a kid
Everyone-
knows what weed is,
Look,
and
everyone
knows that-
nowadays
what
is
if
a
the kid reads?
spoon-fed baby. And so parents
well, if
nowadays...
the kid reads, he knows about
Then he
it
knows that
anyway.
what pot is, and he's going to catch on to these subtleties, though. And then he's going to be like, Mom, why are Shaggy and Scooby lighting a fat blunt in this back of the van? And she's going to be like,
Oh, honey, they're just cooking.
Well, they're not, honey. They're
She's
just,
like, honey, that's what you and your dad... honey, me and your dad used to... I mean, yeah, I totally botched that.
They just have
Justin,
a high
cut that out.
metabolism, honey. They obviously run a lot because from the bad guys. No, bullshit, Mom. It looks like they're alluding to that they smoke pot. No, honey. They totally don't. I'm just saying they could have done less. You could have done Mary Jane or the van smoke thing. You didn't have to do both. And if there's even more than that, I haven't seen it in a while.
Oh, man, it's been years.
Sneaky segue back to Ninja Turtles.
Speaking of green,
Yeah, okay, there you go.
Oh.
That's
Whoa.
it. That's it.
better transitionary statement there.
Turtles always eat pizza. Are they potheads? It's a kid show.
Mikey kind of seems like he is, but
Before we-
I digress.
Backtracking to pizza, dude, they totally only mention like pizza like 1 or 2 times in both movies.
Yeah, but Mikey eats the shit out of it in this one.
Okay, that's fine.
They even
But-
have the whole like "keep it from Mikey" and they're all just like surfing.
That was
and
fun.
throwing
Yeah, that was
shit.
a fun scene.
That was
But to me,
Someone's
like,
got,
I
like, a
feel like they
triple
should have
stack
had pizza
pizza
a
at one
lot.
time.
Yeah,
lot
he did
more
eat.
than
What did he eat? Like a triple or quad
like a
stack
triple
pizza?
slice.
He had like 4 slices on one hand.
Oh yeah.
We going somewhere?
They were worried about not being seen in the beginning. They literally are flying through the rooftops, yelling at the top of their lungs as if New York City they
Yeah.
can't be seen or heard. And then they take the pizza from the guy who's just like, "Well, I'm not even looking, but I'm just gonna assume that it's okay because somebody flew out of my
They
hands."
probably
with
do
the
that
pizza."
all the time though. That's probably like.
Well, how are they?
They're like,
gonna see
hey,
next
hey,
week?"
tell the guy we're ready for our pizza.
Yeah.
In the first one, they had a pizza guy, but they drop it through the sewers. He's like, 123 and an eighth. Yeah, it's like 9 3/4.
That's the 90 version, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the first one. And, but they're under the sewers. They're not seen. They're sticking to their we can't be seen code. And then in this one, they're just like, we're not supposed to be seen, but we're going to fly through the fucking air anyways. Woo! We're going to nab the pizza from the dude who I don't think they paid. Thanks a lot. And the pizza guy's just like, that's fine. There's just some giant ninja freaks just flying around. No
Yeah,
big
but is
deal."
that any
He's like, thanks for my
is
tip.
that any less believable than trench coats and a hat?
But it's
Your
still
face
it's
is still
a-
gigantic and green, and you're what are you, Hunchback of Notre Dame?
It's still a cover up, and either way, it's like this guy could be in a costume covering himself up. These are like, you are clearly a 7.5 foot, biceps the size of a fucking tree trunk, weapon wielding turtle that just flew through the air and nabbed my pizza, and I didn't get my tip.
Well, what about everyone getting butthurt about Mikey? Even though it was clearly Halloween, and he was fitting in like a
Oh,
Yeah.
he's fit like a glove. Everyone was loving him.
I was totally on Mikey's side on that.
They all should have went
Yeah.
up and partied. That was literally what Mikey said. The one night they were gonna get away with it.
And I would have just been like, dude, good costume.
Yeah,
right.
You don't even have to like act out.
What
like,
are
you're
you,
like,
dude?
Mikey, what's your problem? Like, they could have just literally joined the parade and been like, dude, what's up? Sightsee, met a few chicks or something.
If anything, Raph should have gone up with them. So when the time came for them to have their little moment with the cure bit, that should have been more motivation for them to be like, we want to go up there. We experienced it, even though it's just this one night. We could have that reaction every night, We could go up there and save a lot. Is it going to decrease their strength and stuff? Like, is it going to...
He said that it keeps their insides normal.
Well,
their outside appearance
Leo worded it
changes.
as like I don't remember the exact wording, but it was something about how they lose their tactical advantage or something like that, which to me meant they lose their size, they lose their muscle, maybe not their skills,
okay, I get it.
but
Like,
Raph
if it's going to
has-
turn you into a human, it's going to turn you into human and everything with it.
You'll
I
still
guess,
be a ninja.
yeah.
You'll still be a ninja. You'll be a teenage
Raph
mutant
will
ninja.
no longer
human.
be throw freight containers at the Foot
Not
Clan,
mutant,
I would have liked to see,
Which-
instead
which-
of just a hand tease, like
How
that
do you-
was Donatello. Hand
How do you
tease.
throw? What are they
Donatello.
called?
Hand jab.
I
Those
really would
freight
have liked if they'd
Yeah.
have shown him like
That they threw in the
even just
first
like a
one?
Yeah, the
split
one
second,
where he
like,
just
the
like
body,
kind
like
of
the
throws it
face.
into those Foot
And you're
Clan
like,
and it doesn't
"Oh,
kill him, it
shit."
just
I
knocks
was
him into the
I was
water.
actually surprised they didn't drink because like 3 out of the 4 were like, yeah, let's do it. We can totally do it. It'd be
Part- yeah,
great.
yeah. Like
And
I said,
then
part of me wanted
they
them to
just
do it.
never did.
We should have seen like I said, we should have seen like a quick like when he puts like a micro drop on his hand. What if it like showed like his body like real quick and then like went away and you're like, oh my god.
Okay.
Like,
They threw
because they are teenagers.
They threw the ooze at the wall, right? Well, there's probably all kinds of bacteria and like algae and stuff growing on the walls. What if that would have mutated?
You'd
Probably
have,
saving
like,
it for the
bush plant
trilogy.
just
You know what I
on the
mean?
wall.
Splinters.
They
would be
checked
like,
it at the
"What's this
walls.
fungus?"
Something got super powered.
I don't know. It might say that the brick is, half whale or some shit and try to
Yeah,
transform it.
the bricks
Every-
probably have
every
bits
brick-
of whale in them. Yeah.
Every brick has
I think a
animal
dead cat
DNA.
was on that brick and they scraped it off before they made that sewer. So those dead cat cells are going to a bird shit on it, and so now it's going to turn into a bird. Like
Human feces just all over the walls, just transforming into
Yeah,
something
for real.
horrible.
Oh man, yeah. They.
my man.
Did you guys have a favorite out of the original trilogy?
Yes.
First one.
2.
Two.
I love 2.
Oh, okay. So I'm the tiebreaker. I think I'm gonna have to go with the first one because it's the first one. But I liked that the first one was so dark, fantastic movie. They even lightened up the tone for the second one and still made it work. Fantastic movie.
I agree.
One of the few franchises that can completely tonally change, one movie to the next and make it work. And then you have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in Time, and well, I think we'd all probably sleep better at night if that wasn't made.
I think number 3 was better than both of the two recent ones.
Ooh, I don't know if I'd go that far, man.
Yeah.
It was just as fun as the other two. They were still goofy. You did mention something about the spots.
Yeah, I didn't. Stan
And
Winston
the-
didn't do the
because it
didn't
was-
do
The
the
spots
effects.
was like,
It wasn't Jim Henson's
Not
creature.
Yeah, I didn't like the spots.
Oh, I'm sorry, Jim
It
Henson,
almost
you're right,
changed the
Stan
whole
Winston.
tone of what their color was.
yeah, it was a little off-putting, but
The only one that looked
Kappa?
significantly different
Kappa
was Johnny. Johnny looked really different. I think Leonardo looked slightly different, but Raph and Mikey, I think, were closest.
And they brought back Corey Feldman.
They did bring
Yeah,
back Feldman,
that's
and they
true.
brought back Casey Jones.
yeah. So
He
I
was the
thought
best
3
part of the whole movie.
I
Which
thought 3
don't
was
get
fun.
Why you took him out in the second one, anyways? Like,
I never did find out why they did it. I don't know if it was just they could he wanted more money, or if they just
He had a hockey
wanted
game to get to.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
it's like,
He maybe tried to be a detective. I don't know.
Okay, and that was another thing I had. That was another problem I had with Casey Jones in this one. Like, he's in the warehouse with Bebop and Rocksteady, and he just somehow magically tapes skates to his feet
Yeah.
and then just rollerblades his way around.
I thought that was also.
I thought he was gonna somehow get in the rollerblades out of his trunk, or is it ice? Does he have ice? And maybe it's ice skates. I don't
He's
know.
definitely taping these
But
blades to his
he
shoes.
definitely
Yeah.
somehow like a Zelda game pulls out some skates from his pocket and just puts them on, and
Yeah.
you're like, where did you get just the wheel? I'm sorry, did you rip the boot off the wheels?
Yeah.
Casey Jones, because you're detective.
No, he
and
ripped
you're
the wheels
strong.
off of like a rolly chair or something, right?
No, they were.
Well, there was a
lined-
4 in
they had
line. I
4
mean, they
in
were.
lines.
Yeah,
There were
like
4
a
in
cross section from a rolly chair, I thought.
Well,
I don't
even
know a
still,
rolly
even-
chair that's got
how
that
do you
kind of
get
thing.
tape around the wheels and around your shoe to attach it and still be able to roll?
And still have the wheels free spinning.
yeah,
Yeah.
that was my biggest deal. I was
And
like,
have it structurally support your weight, your ability to
You're
lean
able
to stop.
skate and move and parlay all you want to, and then
Yeah,
doesn't-
assuming you got them to your shoe. It's one thing if you're rolling straight downhill, not forcing your shoes to lean, because rollerblades have ankle support, and this he's just like, nope, totally fine.
And Bebop and Rocksteady are on motorcycles, gas-powered
And
motorcycles.
he's out running them
can't-
and out rolling
Yeah,
them.
what?
They could have just ridden by give him a wedgie from hell and broke his ass in half, and instead they're just we're gonna chase you the whole time and flip cars and
It was just,
not fight the turtles.
And the
like
movie
we should.
magic behind some of it is ridiculous. Like the part where they're fighting, I can't remember which one kicks him. Somebody kicks him, and he goes fucking flying
Yeah.
right into a van.
Wasn't he driving when he did that? He kicks the
Yeah,
shit
he
out of
kicks
Stephen
the shit
Amell.
out of him.
And I was like, okay, so you shattered your whole heart and chest. And then he hits this car, and I was like, oh, so your back and neck are broke.
He hits this
and he's
van,
just like,
he
oh,
practically
damn,
caves
that
it in.
hurt.
There's no way he would just. He's like, oh no, I'm fine.
Yeah.
No, you'd be broken in a billion
Well,
pieces.
let's
that
talk
would
about
fucking hurt.
let's talk about some physics here for the first one. In the first movie, Raphael tears out of the Channel 9 van, right? When they're at the
Oh, that
conference.
was the worst part of
He
the whole
tears out of that
movie.
van, jumps out, and
so cheesy.
blocks some bullets, whatever. And this one jumps out of a plane, coming down harder than anything you could just propel yourself with on your feet, and just smacks on the face of the plane window. Dude, you should have torn through that cockpit into the aisle.
Well, they also in the first one,
You are 500 plus pounds,
in the first one, the three of them, except for Raph, get locked up in the containment cells. Raph goes in, gives it like a super Falcon punch, doesn't break. It's like, okay, that's apparently pretty tough glass. Except that she soups up the three of them with adrenaline, and from a completely standstill motion, front flip out and break the glass, all three of them.
Well, we need to talk about that too.
Hold on, I think it was like
why
the
did
time
those
Shredder
chambers
did a
have?
swan dive with the half gainer right into the back of a garbage truck. Ah!
Why did those chambers have adrenaline? Why did they even have the option for adrenaline?
That is just one of the many.
To keep them alive.
We got to give them adrenaline. The cages they just so happen to be in have a menu option. Yeah, just go into settings. Yeah, yep. Serums. Mm-hmm.
He's like,
You
damn,
see-
I
you
knew
see
it.
adrenaline?
I should have fired that guy for putting adrenaline on.
Okay, if we're going to talk 2014 movie bullshit, oh my god, aside from the whole plot being fucking transparent, the fact that... Okay, so they raid the sewers to get them on. They're like, we need them alive. That's why they have tranq darts, right? And their shells are able to block that. That's cool. They all have the sweet fight. It's one of the best scenes in the movie. And then they get captured, except for Raph, who they say is dead, even though nobody goes to check on him. And I was like, okay, if he's that precious, I think you would have. And two,
He still's got blood in his body.
they
carcass off.
get them all locked up. Eric Sachs says, we're going to drain every ounce of blood in their body, even if it kills them. Then just fucking kill them. You have them contained. Kill them. Get their
Yeah.
blood. How much resistance you going to get from a dead guy? Anybody?
And draining all their blood will kill
Will
them. There's
kill
no
them.
even if.
He's like, if it kill, we're gonna take every ounce of their blood, so they're just fucking hollow and they run on pizza, like
Nothing but cheese and marinara sauce.
Yeah, marinara sauce in their veins.
and then Raph shows up, fights Shredder, who gets Shredder whoops his ass, cracks his shell, and then just walks off.
Why didn't? Yeah.
He could have killed the fuck out of Raph, right, or killed all of them right there, and instead he's like, no, I need to be in New York. I need to
See that?
set off
See,
this E-bomb in the
that-
whole town.
When I watched it this time, I was definitely like, why didn't you either put Raph in a cage with
Incapacitate him?
or kill him?
Yeah. And
You
he's like,
cracked
nah.
his shell, just finish it. You did the hard part.
He stepped on him, cracked shell, and he literally just walks off. I don't even think he says anything. He just walks off. And he's like,
I'm
oh, and I'm
tired.
gonna, yeah. And
Time for
Eric
my nap.
Sachs takes off to New York first in his chopper, then Shredder, then the Turtles, but the Shredder beats Eric Sachs to the rooftop, like to the building. Next time we see Shredder, he's up there like walking on the roof, like, I'm here and I'm gonna put this thing in. And the Turtles are like, oh no, we're sliding down the avalanche, which was a great scene, but the timing of it all, even though they took a shortcut to the outside of the city, not like, this avalanche will take us right to the heart of New York, where we'll come out in the basement of the Eric Sachs building. And why is it TCRI and not TGRI?
I was kind of wondering.
Does anybody know what that stands for?
Like, is it just another one of those things where they were like, hey, this doesn't need to be changed, but
Yeah.
we're gonna change it.
Hollywood bullshit. Like
Yeah.
rights, who knows?
Also, the elevator scene in the first one, the 2014 one,
yeah,
where they're like doing the little
DJ
beatbox
Mikey?
thing. That was a good.
it was okay.
It was a good 10 seconds of like
it was
just
goofy.
like enjoying it, just like, okay, if this was a real song, I'd download it.
I
You
wouldn't, but it was fun.
He's just like MC Mikey. I don't know, good clean fun. I kind of wish they had, if they took anything from this one, I wish they had done something like that.
If
Like
we're gonna-
another one of those scenarios.
If we're gonna keep talking about like inconsistencies with the movies, like the first one in 2014, they show that their shells bulletproof.
Yeah.
They can smash fucking Humvees, which are just almost like tanks. And not to mention the fact that all the other oddball shit they can do with their shell.
Throw shipping containers
And then fucking Shredder steps on the dude's back and cracks his shell. How in the fuck does he put enough force on that shell to crack it?
Well, he,
just with his foot.
And why wasn't it
shredded it.
fixed?
He shredded it.
Like, how is that not a problem for Raphael later on? Shells just aren't, or, they don't mend.
Hey, 1,001 uses for duct tape, goddammit, and Donnie utilized one of them.
Hey, he told him to tape it up, and Donnie didn't. Donnie was like, allow me to be the badass
Actually,
this time.
I think earlier in the movie, if you look, there's already tape on his shell.
In the
So-
2014 version?
Yeah. I thought I was watching it, and I was like, huh? Why is there...
How do you have errors like that with the CGI people? Like,
And
it's not like live action actors that can.
Skin on the, at the raw,
And
at
I
the wrong
totally
time.
get you don't film a movie in order. Most of the time, movies are filmed they're not filmed, in consecutive order.
It's usually the easiest scenes first.
You could start
and everything
filming the
else.
last scene of the movie, and the very last day you film the scene where you first meet this character and you guys have had chemistry the whole time, like...
some of that just may be like where they're allowed to film, like, we can, like, if you have to travel out of the country, we're only allowed to be on these dates for 2 weeks. this can only be filmed there, whether it's the middle of the movie, end of the
Yeah.
movie, beginning of the movie.
And I might be
Plus
wrong about
scheduling
the tape.
conflicts.
Right,
but
that's true.
I thought I saw tape on there earlier, and I was like, so he's getting more tape, or and again, I have to rewatch it again. But I just thought that was one of those things I saw and was like, okay, that.
One of the things from the first movie was at the end when Shredder falls down and creates a massive crater because he weighs 1,000 pounds apparently in the first one. He falls, lands in this crater with the ooze, and then you see him with his fingertips. He reaches, grabs a little bit of it, and then just kind of like pulls it in. But you never see what happens to Shredder, and they never explain what the ooze was supposed to do or doing or did to him in this one. He like fingers it. That's okay. I gotta reword that. He puts his fingers in it, grabs it, and kind of like secretly like, this is mine now. When he lands, he's and the turtles are all like, oh my god, I'm falling in this thing, but they don't explain anything about it after that, which was just I guess lazy script writing or something.
Well, also the mutagen that is man-made in the first one that turns these turtles into what they are in this one. This alien ooze,
Also-
has the ability to reverse it, like something
to change them and reverse
to
them.
change this man-made thing, and all of a sudden the cure comes in an alien form, and they don't say where Krang even is. Like, they don't mention Dimension X. They just say what, another dimension.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
And
they don't.
Baxter
He doesn't
Stockman
even
is-
say he's from another dimension to Shredder. But when Shredder fills in everyone else, he's like, "It's a portal to another dimension."
And I
Okay,
think-
how would you know that?
Yeah.
They didn't say
And
that.
Stockman's
Well, he
like
could have said it when we weren't.
interdimensional travel.
Well, we saw him arrive, we saw their speech, and then we saw him leave. So there's, I mean, unless Krang was
Well,
he
I'm going to
said that.
telepathetically put this to you here.
But
Telepathetic.
Yeah, that's
But he
right.
did say that, like when he's talking to Shredder, he's like, "Yeah, I sent the teleportation thing to the dimension of Earth." So he's already establishing that he has his own dimension. You just don't know what it is.
All right, I'll give you
And
that.
two of the pieces happen to be in New York, and one's far off in Africa.
Freaking Brazil. Like, what the hell?
Was he like blind when he shot that third piece?
Wait,
to
was
Earth?
the
Like-
museum in New York?
Yeah,
though?
it was in
Yeah,
New York. And
because he's
that's-
like, you have one, the second one's in a museum in New York, and the third one's in Africa.
Didn't
Well,
know.
and I was
in
like,
Brazil.
But you never
Already-
find out how
That's South
the
America,
doctor got that part,
Sorry.
though. Maybe it landed somewhere else and he just fucking picked it up.
Well, did no one examine the part that was in the museum, or did they like, oh, this is a pretty rock, let's just put it in here?
Yeah.
Right, it
All of a
looks a
sudden, you
little
just
too
add
alien to me.
you add some pressure to it, and all of a sudden it turns on.
You
Did they
didn't have-
not know it was deactivated?
You
Or
didn't have one
wasn't
guy
deactivated?
touring the museum like follow these 3 lines. Like, I don't know, if something had like intricate markings, I'd be like, oh man, look at these like sort of fingernail. Oh, what do you know? I just unlocked this like cool scepter thing. And of course, Baxter Stockman knows how to just do everything.
See, and
He
that's,
probably just hacked it and just opened it
yeah,
up.
like all this like alien, extra dimensional.
We have the FBI that
technology.
can't hack a phone here, apparently, but Donnie can hack alien tech.
Hillary Clinton can lose 30,000 emails, and Baxter Stockman can hack alien technology.
Yeah, Baxter Stockman and Donnie should have
Maybe
just
he should
worked
be
for the
running
FBI.
for president.
Yeah, come on now.
Stockman 2016 got my vote.
In the comics,
for
Stockman
Donnie.
is known for creating the Mousers in the comics. Going forward with a trilogy because it looked he got burned in this movie. I mean, Shredder was like, "Turns out you're my puppet. Take him away or whatever." Do you think that's where they were headed with the Mousers?
maybe, because he said take him to like a facility,
Yeah.
and then that's all we see.
I imagined he would have had to have been put to work, like keep making
Maybe
what the
on
hell is he
devices.
gonna
something-
do?
I don't know
Everybody's
about
either dead or
Mousers, though.
gone. Like,
Shredder hates Splinter, the rat.
Yeah,
Like, why would he's gonna be like, hey, make a bunch of little robot things?
that resemble my arch enemy.
Yeah, but here's the catch: they're like a foot high.
And they're robotic.
He's like, so not 6 foot tall mousers? No, I want them a foot.
You better
high.
go with a bunch of small ones.
Oh, they're also gonna be able to eat steel, concrete, wood.
Strength in numbers, is I think
Right,
is what
there
they're
you go.
going for.
I got this guy Ultron you can call. He'll help you out with some
Yeah,
of those
maybe,
robotics.
Ultron.
maybe the Shatari,
The Mousers stay like Stark on the side, Stark Industries.
I'd watch that movie.
Hey,
Hey, the comics have the Turtle comics have a crossover with Batman. Maybe that'll be next on their plate.
Yeah, so is Hell.
Ben Affleck will be like, "Well, here I am," and the Turtles will be like, "Oh, you're like a bat. Good for you."
which makes you wonder: did Batman leave Gotham, or did the Turtles leave New York City?
Oh.
I don't know why everything's got like if all the movies were part of one universe, there is no New York. There is none. Every movie takes place in New York. Spider-Man,
I
Avengers,
don't know why New York
Turtles,
has this much trouble when
Independence
you
Day.
got every hero in the world over there. You know,
We have more than one.
Yes.
We have more than one like million people plus populated city in the United States, but all of them have to happen in New York.
I agree.
Like, why don't we go to like L.A.? Why don't we go to DC? I mean, I know we do in some other disaster movies, but
Hey,
like,
famous
Chicago.
franchise.
there are way other places that we
Yeah.
could have done here.
Bring some heroes to Kansas City.
Now, I know New York is the comic setting, thus that's why we're there. But does that have to be the setting for every movie? I can't wait for Justice League. They'll probably destroy New York too.
And it's weird that in the first one, if we're gonna get really nerdy and geeky here, Raphael said, "I saw Batman. You're in New York City. Shouldn't you be like, I only saw Iron Man once? You know." Well, you mentioned DC property that doesn't even take place in that city. You have a whole Marvel universe you could have picked and chose from. That's like saying you saw Superman in New York City. No.
Well,
No.
Well, you saw Batman the movie. You didn't. I mean, obviously, you see a Batman character.
And
Why-
Superman can fly
I
to
thought
New York.
in the movie he was like joking that he saw the real Batman.
No, I think he meant the movie because he's mocking Christian
Okay,
Bale's
maybe,
voice.
Maybe he did. I thought he was just
No,
joking that he
no.
saw Batman.
He's doing
Because
Bale's
like,
He's
voice.
using his Batman voice.
Yeah.
I thought when he was like, I only saw Batman once. I thought he was like they were like making fun of him because he claimed he saw him on the
No. They saw the movie Batman because that's where Christian Bale's infamous.
Yeah,
for
because they
his
talk about
stupid
his
fucking
pop,
voice.
how the pop culture really influenced their lives.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Including
I guess you're right.
Gwen Stefani's awful track.
Doug, Chris.
Why'd they choose that one to like?
Why the hell did they choose her to begin with?
Holla Back Girl. I don't think the Turtles will be like, this song is so cool, it's going to influence my style.
They're like, maybe it's Hollerback Turtle. Maybe that's what they're saying.
They could have chose like Tupac, or you're a fan of Juicy J,
Party and bullshit does not approve this message.
even though he sucks. They could have chosen anybody,
You
and
didn't have to say that.
instead they chose Gwen Stefani's Holla Back Girl, which is probably the worst song ever made. I like Juicy J more than Gwen Stefani.
Well, let's not get into the Juicy J debate.
Sinners, Juicy J.
Sinners, tell us how much you love Juicy J. It's a touchy subject, as you can plainly.
Aside from him being the worst rapper out there,
Okay, now you
Tell
just
us why you love Juicy J.
tell us how you really feel, Nick.
I did. I just said he's the worst rapper out there, and I hope he's buried with his music somewhere.
Juicy J, I know you're listening right now. I love you,
Mr.
dog.
J, even though you're not Joker, do what I call you, Juicy? If you're listening, I'm sorry, dude. You got to do something about the music. It's just not.
Can
it's
you
not
rap
here.
about something other than blunts, drinks, and bitches?
Yeah.
Because there's a whole world of shit out there you can find something to rap about.
Mr. J,
You can make real
Can I call you
music
Jay?
if you try.
keep living the American dream. I'm rooting for you.
You probably got 1,000 producers working with you. Let's figure something out.
Is he in that one Katy Perry song?
Yeah, and it's so amateur, it's not even
Oh
funny.
yeah, Katy Perry's part in that song was better than
Dark
Juicy
Horse?
J's.
Oh, Jesus, dude.
I was like, dude, who
We did-
is this lame?
We're getting off topic
Well,
here.
hold on. No, we're kind of on topic because actually there was a Juicy J song at the end of the 2014 Turtles. The song "Shell Shocked" is by Juicy J, Wiz Khalifa, and Ty Dolla $ign. Or
Oh,
Ty
cool.
Dolla $ign.
Crappy artist for making a
Oh,
song for a
okay.
crappy movie. Perfect. Just kidding. I don't really care for Juicy J, but I don't hate him.
There's better.
Turtle lives matter. What up?
Let's
Well, hey,
move on.
all the turtles lived. Maybe Shredder lives matter. So Shredder's in Dimension X,
Foot
right? I mean, he was frozen. Now, there were a lot of other frozen, I guess, chambers.
Right.
I wasn't able to, like, see anything, and I don't know that I could have pointed out anything,
The point
even
of
if
view
it were.
focused so much on Shredder, like you didn't, and they moved by everything
Yeah,
so fast.
I
you
thought it
couldn't
was.
Really focus.
I thought it was going to be like a cabin in the woods, like final scene zoom out, and there's like all those monsters,
Like
and
he's
some are
collected
recognizable.
These things,
Yeah.
people, stuff.
Like Krang could be literally assembling an army like through dimensions or something, like
See,
or
that-
from different planets, different dimensions, or whatever. I don't know that that's what's
Don't
going
they in
on.
the comics and stuff fight kind of an array of
Characters. Yeah, there's some
I definitely know
colorful
the new
people there.
show
Yeah.
they do.
I have not a clue about the comics.
You know what I wish they had, and I thought maybe they would slip this in somewhere. Remember that robot turtle Donnie builds?
In the comics.
It was in the animated series too. What's the robot turtle's name? He builds like a robot turtle, and for like a while it goes like bad or whatever. But it's for like security. Like it's like something to keep their place safe while they're gone.
Like a bodyguard.
Yes. And God, it kills me that I can't remember that robot turtle's name. But I was like, okay, first one, their place got raided. He's gonna want some protection. What would be cool? Build a like this prototype thing. It don't even have to be finished. It can be like a C-3PO and like the first Star Wars. God, Jesus Christ, the Phantom Menace movie.
Yeah.
Just like in construction. Maybe have him join the fight or whatever, or you just sideline him like Splinter.
Well, I think they just probably didn't want another robot out there since you already had Shredder and Commander Krang's body.
Yeah, I just thought it would allude to Donnie's like tinkering style.
I think what Cinamen Chris is trying to say is that The Phantom Menace is his favorite Star Wars movie.
It's so good, I don't watch it no more because I love it too much.
You've seen it so much, you're just burnt out on it.
And the only good thing I have to say about it is that I don't watch it anymore because I love it so much. That's all I got to say. Jake Lloyd, Anakin the Mannequin, who's like in jail right now.
Yeah, Mr.
He's-
Highway Pursuit.
Yeah, doesn't he have like schizophrenia or something? Like
Yeah, he has like mild case schizophrenia or
I
some
don't know.
shit. He took off running from the
probably
cops.
thinks he's Anakin.
He
He
looks
was
like
pod racing.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah. I thought he said.
Sebulba finally
I
got
thought
him.
he said he got like picked on and stuff after the Star Wars movie, and I'm kind of like, you were in a Star Wars movie. How did you get picked on? I'm sorry, did Harrison Ford and Mark Hamill say they got picked on after those movies? No.
Harrison
they were
Ford
little
and Mark
too.
Hamill weren't criticized for their awful performances
Jake-
and an awful movie.
Okay, but let's say this kid went to Carney with us. If he was in school, I'd be like, dude, you were in a Star Wars movie. Like,
Okay.
props, man. I'll
Yep,
give it to you. Whether you were a good actor or not, you got cast by George Lucas.
I don't know how much
Oh,
flack we're going to get for talking about Carney, but if he did go to Carney with us, yeah, he would have got crap. Carney was vicious, dude.
Carney is vicious.
Carney's
Still
my
is.
My grade was fine.
You guys had some idiots, too.
Well,
We all did, no
Everyone
doubt.
has
I'm not going to name
Oh,
names,
yeah.
but they're all out there. And I don't know how much flack we're going to get for this, but Justin, you may need to edit some of this.
Keep
I
it all
don't
in.
I don't
Screw it, I
want
don't care.
to
I don't associate with Carney.
What have they ever done
I still
good for
think
me?
I still think there's a line though, you know.
Sinners
You
comment
can't
and tell
call
us-
out the whole city.
Sinners
We're gonna
comment
piss
and-
off all our viewers, dude. Justin, you should probably edit some of this. That's all I'm
Okay,
gonna say.
sorry. Here, let us be politically correct. We hate Carney's school systems.
No, let's not say that.
That's not what we're saying?
No.
What are we saying?
All our viewers are from Carney. Why would you even want to say that?
Not all
I don't
of them.
care what they think.
Not all
We
of
got
them.
a couple in China, I think.
Oh well, they're probably gonna be like Carney sucks. Good one, but I'm just saying when we're all from Carney. This is who we're reaching out to. We cannot just come diss them like this.
I can hate. Anyone else can diss their own hometown. Not like I'm dissing anyone else's hometown. I'm dissing
You
my
didn't call out the
hometown.
hometown. You called out everyone we went to high school with,
I didn't
which is
say
our
everyone in
entire
Kearney
viewer
sucks.
system.
I said Kearney sucks.
I'm saying it.
The
Everyone.
town sucks. The town sucks. The school sucks. I didn't say every resident citizen of Kearney can burn in hell because you suck.
Why do you think I tried to blow?
Sinners comment on that.
Don't associate me with any of this.
Yeah, hit us up if you want the full story.
I still think Jake Lloyd would have got beat
Come back
up.
for the
though.
Donnie Darko episode. We'll fill you
Okay.
in.
I'm not saying there's guys. Sure, he might have got shit on, whatever, you know. But I'm saying if I saw him, I'd be like, "Hey, congrats, man!" Like,
I don't know why he wasn't
I
able
might
to
not
shake
have
it
liked him.
off.
See,
Like he'd have been like, he could have easily have just been like, "How much money did you make at your job?" "Oh, I made enough to retire for doing Star Wars. Thanks, though."
yeah,
I
but
beat
look-
out
look
thousands
what
of kids getting
look
this
what
role.
he had. He had, as far as I know, 2 damn films to his name: Jingle All the Way and fucking Star Wars.
He was in Jingle
He had
All the Way,
Arnie,
yeah.
and then he had fucking Jar Jar
Hey,
Binks. He didn't
his
have
dad
much
was
to go
Turbo
with.
Man. You respect him.
he was Turbo Man.
Jamie.
Dasha Dancer Prancer Vixen Comet Cupid
Nice
Donald
to see you.
Yeah, right.
When Mr. Freeze is your dad in Conan, you can do anything.
When Tom Hanks' wife is your mom.
That is true, yeah. Rita Wilson, isn't that her name?
Right.
Go
When
Tom.
Sinbad is your mailman, anything's possible.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, as I work for the post office, I'm like, dude, he would have been. They'd have came out on his route after seeing him like not where he's supposed to be, like bomb threatened.
Right.
He wouldn't even made it that far in the movie.
Oh my god.
That's just the post office man talking, in me right now.
Out of, not counting the animated Ninja Turtle movie, where do you rank the 5 live action ones? Chris.
Like, in my order, greatest to
Yeah,
worst.
Abby, yes.
Greatest Wars.
Okay.
Or worst to first. Either way, we need an order.
Worst to first. Tell
Or-
you.
I'll start from the bottom like Drake. Okay, very bottom. Definitely number 3. X-Men said third one's always the worst. Whatever. Number 3. I'm gonna have to
Like
say
Turtles
this.
in Turtle in Time.
Yes, Turtles in Time. Out of the Shadows. So what just came out? The remake, the first one, 2014.
Okay.
Secret of the Ooze, number 2, and then
The OG.
the 1991. I think is my all-time favorite.
All right. I'm going to go 2014 at the bottom, 2016 next up, then 3, 1, 2 for the originals.
Derek.
I'm gonna go 3, then Out of the Shadows, then the remake in 2014, then the first one in '90, and then Secret of the Ooze. It's my top.
Well, I think we are. Oh, you said your TJ. You said your worst one was the
2014.
2014. Gotcha. I still think. Man, I don't. It on the bottom to me, it is a toss up between Out of the Shadows and Turtles in Time. So I'm probably go Turtles in Time on the bottom, Out of the Shadows, then like the 2014 movie, and then 2, and then 1. Yeah. The first one was just like it had the original comics were very dark. They were very violent. The Turtles even started out with the same color headband, which was something I was kind of hoping they would explore. Like,
Yeah.
Weren't they?
like they just all get. I think it's all red headbands, and then they branch out and assume even if you dress them differently, give them the same headbands, and then maybe.
At least starting out.
Yeah, I don't know. Just it would have been a different origin story.
It just
But I also that's what I didn't like about Nickelodeon. Just putting. I talked about you about this, Tyler. The fart gags. Those are such cheap laughs. You don't even need them. And I get it. It's a kids movie.
Yeah.
But the comics were not kid friendly. They were violent. The
was-
first movie was violent. The second movie was more kid friendly. So was the third. Not one fart joke. There's not even a fart joke in the animated one. But in both of these, they had to put a fucking fart joke.
I agree.
That's not funny to me. That's a cheap laugh. That's something you don't need.
It's too much. That's too aimed for.
It's like a
kids.
last ditch
dumb
effort.
humor.
In my book.
Unfortunately, if Nickelodeon's doing it, you're gonna get shit like that. Real quick, let's say out of 10, right? What are we giving Out of the Shadows here? Starting
Oh,
with
man.
guess Derek out of 10.
I'm gonna have to give it a 6.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 5.5.
Tyler,
I'll say 6.
I think I'm gonna go 6 as well. It just and I'm a guy that, like I said, this movie had action. Sure, it had action, just not the action we were led to believe we were gonna get.
So did Transformers.
True.
Yeah, all the Transformers have action, and they're all not amazing.
But I think, it just, and because of that, like I said, you have action in it. I can forgive a lot. I can let a lot slide. But this one just didn't do it for me.
What do you think, sinners? Give us your list. What do you rank Out of the Shadows? Let us know what you think. Leave a comment on our website. Hit us up on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, anywhere. Just let people know about us. The only way we stay alive is if you guys keep telling people, so spread the word.
Make sure to spread the Cinamen love out there. Share, like, subscribe, comment, anything. Tell us which is your favorite movie, what you thought of this one, what you thought of, I don't know, what'd you do today? I don't care.
Suggestions for new episodes.
Right. Doesn't matter. Just make sure.
Why are we wrong about, whatever? Let us know what we're wrong about.
Why was Nick right about Juicy J? You could comment about anything. So just be sure that you spread the love, because without your support, we couldn't do this. And we would like to thank Derek for joining us today.
The first official guest of the Cinamen.
It was awesome. It was awesome, man. We hope to have you some more times.
Oh, it was my pleasure.
So, just don't be a dick.
Support the podcast.
He fingers it,
Fingers.
puts his fingers in it,
Fingers.
You never paid your
Never saw not one.